you are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices. So says Peter in 1 Peter 2, verse 5, to those who follow Christ. He goes on to say that you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood in verse 9. As one who believes in and follows Christ, Peter says you are a priest. You are part of the priesthood of all believers. You, my friend, are called to and given authority to serve as priests to one another. Now, when you think of a priest, what images come to mind? Maybe you're like me and you think about those priests that maybe you've seen in movies, or the priests of the Old Testament, right? Some holy person in fancy holy clothes, chanting holy prayers in front of an altar, and maybe making sacrifices to God on behalf of the people. And you know what? That's exactly right. Did you know that's actually a pretty accurate description of what you and I and all of us who are believers are called to be? Think about it. We are called to be holy people, all of us, not just clergy. We're called to live lives set apart from the world. That's what holy means, set apart. We're called to be holy. And maybe we don't wear beautiful, holy vestments or clothes, but we are clothed in the righteousness of Jesus. So when God looks on us, he sees his priest. He sees Jesus, the most high priest of all. And we are clothed in his righteousness. And we are set apart for a purpose. And we're called to pray for each other, for the church, to intercede on behalf of others, to serve as a priest who is a go-between between our fellow believers and God. We're called through prayer to carry one another into the presence of God, like a priest would do. And making sacrifices, well, it's not the kind that we read about in the Old Testament, but we as priests are called to sacrifice our gifts, our talents, our resources, our time, our whole lives, so that others can know the love and mercy and grace of God through Jesus Christ. So when Peter says you are a holy priest of a royal priesthood, I want to encourage you to see yourself for who you are called to be, a priest, set apart, clothed in righteousness, and called to make sacrifices so that others may know Christ. So let's not neglect our call. Let's not neglect our responsibility to serve one another as priests, to carry one another into the presence of Christ, to build one another up and encourage one another in the pursuit of holiness.